Welcome to the Consulting Leaders Podcast, where we talk about the business of consulting. Whether you're looking to grow your practice or learn from the stories of leaders in consulting, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Guillaume Jouvencel, ex-PwC and co-founder of GHA Marketing. Join me as I interview the best consultants in their niche. Let's get on with the show.
Welcome to Consulting Leaders Podcast, a place where we talk about the business of consulting. Whether you're looking to grow your own practice or learn from the stories of leaders in consulting, you're in the right place. I'm your host, John Degnan. Join me as we talk with the best consultants in their niche. Today, we feature Fady Sahhar, a global healthcare leader and president of XtraGlobex in ProVantaCare with over 25 years of experience in Medicare, Medicaid, and community-based services. He advises organizations on strategy, policy, and sustainable growth in complex, regulated markets. This conversation explores how deep domain expertise and strategic insight translate into real competitive advantage for consulting firms operating in healthcare. Welcome, Fady.
Welcome. Good to see you, John.
We have something in common. We both got our MBAs in the state of Tennessee.
Which one? Where'd you go?
I was down the road at Vanderbilt.
Well, I got it from Vols country, so Orange country.
Are you a volunteer fan?
Absolutely, especially when they do well.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a Florida Gator at heart.
We'll have to have that conversation offline.
Well, welcome. Welcome for being here. And can you tell us about yourself?
I'm Fady Sahhar. I've been around the healthcare consulting business since year 2000. I stumbled into it from after about 25 years in marketing and corporate management. I found there's an opportunity for me to bring some of my corporate experience from Fortune 10 companies to an area where I've had strong passion in serving people with disabilities. And I've been a lifelong advocate that it felt like the two parts of my life came together.
What got you in the corporate world and what transitioned you into the consulting world?
Well, I got my MBA from UT and went through the corporate steps of working with Sara Lee Corporation, Mobil Oil, Progressive Insurance, and acquired a whole bunch of skills on business management that when I decided to go into my own business, primarily in the marketing world, I found that there was a lot of transferable knowledge and transferable applications that we could bring to the healthcare side. So my early clients were ones in the happened to have a touching the healthcare world in drug distribution and hospital management and so on. So I got to learn that piece of it, and eventually I found that there's a real personal connection between. You can't tell on this, but I tool around in a wheelchair. Okay. And I've had disability all my life. So I found that this is a great way to bring some of my corporate knowledge, apply it to a community that could use a lot of the advantages that we've been afforded working in corporate America.
So working in healthcare, you actually had a purpose behind it, not so much in the past when you were just the corporation, correct?
That's correct. We found, when we founded our company, we say that we are advocates first. And we always look at the work we do through the lens of how it impacts the people we serve. Obviously, we look at the people we serve as beyond the consumer themselves. We don't call them patients because we tend to think that not everybody's sick if they're in the healthcare field. But we also are able to work with the providers who support these individuals in the community.
I read too that you're grounded in the principles of independent living. Can you expound on that?
So independent living is a movement that started back in the early 70s. We called it the last of the civil rights movements, where after many of the civil rights actions in the 60s, individuals with disabilities were left behind. And the Organization of Independent Living Principles focuses on how an individual can be self-directed, make choices for themselves, and be able to determine how and where and when they receive the supports they get. So independent living today has 400 or so independent living centers across the country, which are grassroots movement that provides both a voice and a place for individual with disabilities to actually participate in their community.
What specific problem are you helping your clients solve today, and why does solving that matter so much to you personally?
Well, the specific problem that we focus on today is addressing the contracting processes between providers and payers, whether they're state payers or managed care organizations, in the negotiation of value-based payments. The reason it matters to me personally is value-based payments are a direct relationship between managing the costs of the products, of the services that are delivered, while delivering high quality associated with them. So by sitting at the table and making sure that the business side of the world is able to achieve its goal of managing the financial aspects, value-based payments allow me to bring in the quality controls and the measures that help improve quality of life for the people we serve.
Who are your ideal clients?
Well, my ideal clients are on the payer side, managed care organizations. You'd know some of the big ones: United Healthcare, Centene, Aetna. Those on one side, and with those we work on helping them develop the programs that are going to be the foundation for value-based payment contracts. On the other hand, we work with providers, large and small, home and community-based agencies who work with individuals in the community, and we help them develop the quality programs and the efficiencies that allow them to deliver on the value-based payment contracts that we help them put together.
And with your ideal clients, who typically holds the decision-making power to bring you in?
CEOs.
Okay.
Usually the CEO and the CFO are the two primary folks that I usually find are going to call us in. Because the type of contract that we are helping negotiate and quality programs that we're putting in place comes with tethers. And so there's some risk taking involved. It's not just an operational decision. It's much more of an integrated decision that involves the overall health of an organization. Now, when it comes to the payer side, we usually work on individual state CEOs and CFOs rather than the corporate on the national basis.
How do typically clients find you, and what works best for you when attracting business to such a specialized, policy-heavy space?
Well, we do two things. We focus usually, what got us into our current phase of business is we tend to focus on emergent trends that the industry is trying to grapple with and figure out how to implement. So we started working with value-based payments back in 2014, right after the Affordable Care Act was passed, and the value-based payments were part of the physical health, doctors and hospitals only. We were able to take that construct and help translate it into the services that are being delivered in the community, the non-medical services that are part of the healthcare world. And so we focus in on emergent trends. Like right now, we're focused on the dual eligible population, which is another new trend in healthcare that's becoming much more relevant in the way the funding is taking place. So our approach is very, very simple. We find that the more we educate the community that we target, the better off we are. They see us as subject matter experts. So, for example, we have newsletters, we have blogs, we have a podcast. I tend to speak at 3 or 4 national conferences every year, and so people get to know me. But it's really important that in everything we do, everything that we write, and everything that we present, we focus on making sure that we're looking at an advocate's perspective. We don't look at it as purely a financial driver. So when the large payers engage us, they know that we're going to be holding them accountable to delivering to what's good for the consumers. And when the agencies hire us, they bring us in because they know we know the financial piece, but we're going to be able to protect their consumers as well.
Fady, you're also a podcaster. How do you see podcasting as a marketing tool in the healthcare consulting world?
Well, we're new to podcasting. We have been doing it less than a year.
Okay.
But we found it's really important to broaden the reach and to deliver a much more pointed message around the people that we're trying to reach. We found that our podcasts deliver a information in a way that a number of our target customers are able to reach very quickly and share very quickly. We're surprised at the number of times that our podcasts are shared, and we get back from others that they heard our podcast and they were able to come back and ask questions. So like every good consultant, we talk about the secret sauce. We entice people to look into what's behind the curtain, but obviously we don't share all of the magic in the podcast or in the blog that we write.
Sure. In your world, sales cycles are complex and often involve multiple stakeholders. How do you build trust and move engagements forward?
We don't operate on tight timelines. We believe that trust is very important. When somebody's going to reveal and open up their books and their strategies to us, we feel that they need to be confident in knowing that we are going to be discreet in what we do, but also that we're going to bring innovation to them. So we build that trust over time. Our average sales cycle is somewhere between 6 months and a year before contract. So we don't rush it. We feel that it's important to have the CEO and their teams feel confident that they can put us in the boardroom with them and we can present in a manner that it's really going to benefit their business.
How do you retain your clients over time?
They never leave.
That's nice. That's a good thing. That's great.
We find that the vast majority of our clients are ones that find continuous value and in the evolution of what's going on in the business. So they bring us in usually for a very specific purpose of a problem they're facing at a given time or an opportunity that they want us to help them address, only to find that we need Fady and his team at the table to help us think through the next generation of what we're doing. So we frequently are invited to participate in strategic planning processes. We are invited to participate in writing responses to RFPs and so on, in a way that's not why we were originally engaged with a client, but they see the added value and the perspective that we bring from being advocates in the way we do things.
Regarding client engagement, can you have a story or a case study or a little example of what you're going through right now with a client?
Well, so one of my favorite clients is a care coordination agency that started out working with us a few years back when they had a very small business that was focused in one state. And when they came to us, they presented a situation of wanting to contract with large managed care organizations. So we helped set them on a path of acquiring their NCQA accreditation. We helped set them up in contracting structures. And today that client is working with top 5 MCOs in the country. They're in 5 different states and they serve over 4,000 people. So in that sense, it's the journey. That's why that client will come to us with an issue of what do you think we should do about it? And we help them think through the long run issues as well as to shape strategies that position them, take advantage of what's coming down the road.
Sounds like it's very rewarding to you.
Yes, it is. It is. One of my passions is that I feel that individuals with disabilities need to be able to live in the community and be very engaged. I don't want them. I don't believe anyone chooses to be institutionalized unless they really have to. And the degree of disability by itself should not dictate where that individual should live. Instead, I think we should provide the appropriate supports for a person to be able to live where they choose. And so my reward, I feel very privileged that I'm able to live in the community and have supports around me, informal supports that get me what I want to do. But I think that's everybody's right. So it's very, very satisfying to know that since I've been involved in this business, I've been around over 10,000 people who were living in nursing homes at one point and are now living in the community.
Wow, that's
In
great.
some way, shape, or form. And so that's a very rewarding feeling, and that's a purpose that I feel is worth pursuing.
Absolutely. Do you find yourself stuck anywhere as a consultant these days in the healthcare policy and strategy space?
You know, unpredictability, uncertainty creates a form of being stuck, but it also creates an opportunity. Our healthcare world today is, particularly the Medicaid space where we do a lot of work, is going through a lot of uncertainty with changes coming from regulators at the state level, but also at the federal level. Funding is uncertain and declining in some ways. And so I find that we're having to constantly adjust and adjust what we tell our clients. Because today it's as important to know which way the wind is blowing to make sure that you're preparing for which way to set your sail. And so we are. I don't call it stuck, John. I find it that I have to step back and consider the things we were doing 6 months ago or recommending 6 months ago, and recognizing that they need to be different because the world around us is different. And even such things that may not be directly in the healthcare field specifically, just the cost of living around us is changing the dynamics of both employment situation, the workers that our agencies hire, the reimbursement plans that the MCOs negotiated a year ago have them underwater today. So we're constantly looking at how do we recommend strategies that address both the ability of the business to be sustainable and the quality of the services that the people receive.
Do you still teach at the MBA level at the university?
I haven't taught in the past 2-3 years. I miss it very much. I went back and got my PhD just for that.
Oh, wow.
Because I thought that was going to be my retirement plan. I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
What do you love about teaching?
Just watching small young minds take shape into wanting to do something for a purpose and develop passions. I love working on my favorite teaching experience when I was teaching at the MBA level was informing young students and mostly returning adults about how to do business in an international setting, how to prepare for cultural differences, and how to recognize that you do business differently in different parts of the world. So I find that was something that I was able to do for about 15 years, and I enjoyed it tremendously.
A large group of MBA students will graduate in a couple of weeks. What advice would you give them today?
Don't rely only on your head. Make sure you take your heart into most of the situations that you encounter. I think if you use your passion, and your passion should be more than making money, then you can be very successful. And
Well,
you can open new doors that you never thought were there.
You're certainly a great example of that.
Well, I've been very fortunate that I was able at the right time at the right place.
Looking ahead, where do you see the biggest opportunities for your work in healthcare consulting?
I see like in the next 2 to 3 years, I see a whole lot of realignment of the way services are delivered. And so I look at some of the changes coming down from the federal level to some of the changes at the regular state regulatory environments. And there's a need for us to reshape a lot of the services that we've been taking for granted. We need to think in much more efficient manners. Like one of the big things I tell my clients today is, how are you using AI today? Not because AI is the future, but AI is a wonderful tool that can really help us establish ways to accelerate our decision making, enhance it with a lot of additional information that we have not traditionally had the resources to tackle. So, for some of our smallest providers, I encourage them to use AI in their scheduling work and their payroll structures and in their screening. And in some of our largest, one of my largest clients recently took data from 6,500 hospitals and was able to crunch it together and come up with some wonderful insights in less than 2 days.
Wow.
And so, I think that we have opportunities to use technology. You and I are probably not far apart age-wise. It reminds me of when I got my first laptop. And it's like, oh my gosh, the things I could do with this thing. and the things I cannot do without this thing.
Absolutely.
So we're on the verge of seeing something similar happen. And I think we can make it very constructive and very valuable.
Excellent. Fady, great conversation. If people want to find out more about you and see what you do, where should they go?
Visit my website, www.XtraGlobex.com. And you can find me on LinkedIn. There aren't too many Fady Sahhars, so you can find me on LinkedIn. And I respond. I love to hear from folks and would welcome engaging with some of your audience.
Well, you're certainly a consulting leader, and it was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Consulting Leaders Podcast. We hope you learned valuable lessons on how to grow your practice and take your business to the next level. Make sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening to this show so you never miss an episode. To apply and be a guest on the show, click the link in the description. See you next time.